Hello and welcome back. Today we'll look at some Crossout Battle Pass news, so we hope you enjoy it. So, first things first, this is going to be another waltz, but since it's in Relic it will probably only be an overpowered version. So let's see what it does. New melee weapon Charybdis. I need to know how huge this weapon is because, let's face it, if it were the size of a harvester, this melee would be broken. In the storages of the Dawn's Children, there have always been many tools that couldn't be adapted for close-range combat. Riley was able to optimize some of these parts with the help of the Ravager analysis module. And after that, the armored vehicles of the scientists finally became dangerous in close combat as well. The legendary version of the already familiar buzzsaw, holy shit, finally a new legendary, can become a real revelation not only for fans of stealth gameplay, but also for their victims, who will have to armor the rears of their cars more carefully and monitor the movements of their enemies. The new contact weapon is many times lighter than Harvester, which can be a powerful argument for mobile vehicles that rely solely on speed and stealth. A smaller mass is inevitably associated with a lesser durability, but the ratio will be quite curious. And when you see the perk of the new saw, you will immediately understand that high durability is not the most important thing for such a weapon. Charybdis is not intended for head-on collisions. When approaching an enemy from the rear closer than a certain distance, Charybdis will release additional blades, increasing the contact area with the enemy, but reducing the inflicted damage. And even after these conditions are broken, the additional blades will continue to deal damage over a larger area for a while longer. Those who let themselves get carried away and let you get close enough will probably no longer be able to escape without the help of their allies. Okay, so this is one of the weapons that you would have to test in order to truly understand what it accomplishes, since something about it just doesn't seem right about it. So you are saying you can release additional blades? I don't fucking know honestly. This weapon is a bit confusing. New structural parts. Mars rover part, mounting bracket, an interesting part that will find its use on your armored vehicle. It has a good ratio of mass and durability, increases in the armored vehicle's durability, and lets some of the incoming damage pass through. I don't usually like Dawn's Children, but the pass-through sounds good. New relic weapon RL9 Helican. Old military storages never fail to delight the Steppenwolfs with the weapons that were once conserved. Even Major Stahl occasionally jokes that there have long been more weapons in the world than people. When will the relic rocket launcher finally appear in the game? Already with the upcoming update. Meet RL9 Helican. Each salvo launches a burst of 3 projectiles of different types. The first is armor-piercing, the second is incendiary, and the third is an explosive one. As you can guess, the rocket launcher is quite demanding on your skills and attack planning, but it will abundantly reward you for your efforts if all 3 rockets hit the enemy. And don't let the weapon's resemblance with Waltz confuse you. The rockets of Helican fly on a ballistic trajectory, just like the rockets of standard rocket launchers. The longer the rockets are in flight, the better their characteristics become. Damage, impulse, and blast radius receive good bonuses that reach their maximum level after only half a second of flight. We encourage everyone to take a closer look at Helican. 2 rocket launchers mounted on an armored vehicle can change the balance of power on the battlefield. We'll see you at the final part of our devlog, Survivors. We can expect a rather atypical movement part for the Dawn's Children, as well as a few more structural parts. Yeah, it has an interesting perk. Let's move to the next devlog. Hello. It's time for the final part of our devlog dedicated to the new season, which begins in the first half of June. And we have saved one of the main surprises, at least for fans of the spider-type armored cars, for last. Mechanical leg Gerida I. I think this leg is very great, but you have to wonder how huge the hitbox is. I also enjoy the design. The Dawn's children have long established themselves as creators of some of the best systems for traveling through the wasteland. And the technologies of the Ravagers have allowed them to occupy another promising niche. Everyone who has dreamed of moving across the battlefield quickly like a spider, rejoice. The new season in Crossout will feature light and fast mechanical legs. This epic movement part was created specifically for those who needed more mobility and more spectacular appearance. With these legs, you will be able to whirl many medium and heavy armored vehicles, as well as become more mobile during long-range firefights. Among the features of Myriad, we should note that it lets some of the incoming damage through, which neither ML nor Big Ram had. But the scientists didn't add resistance to blast damage, so be careful in battles against cannons, rockets, and grenade launchers. The most important thing is how the new movement part feels in action. You just need to start moving. A speed increase of 20 km per hour reveals these mechanical legs in a new way. Finally, a real spider. The perk of these new legs will reduce the spread of mounted weapons while you are moving in a straight line or using a strafe. The bonus will not depend on the number of such mechanical legs on the car, but will decrease proportionally if there are other mounted movement parts. Of course, Myriad will have its own special qualities. Increased mobility and reduced power consumption are offset by lower tonnage and durability. Be prepared for increasing demands on your maneuvering skills as well as the cost of making a mistake. But is this really an obstacle for the enthusiasts of walking armored vehicles? Arachnophobes, beware. New structural parts. Right heat sink and left heat sink. These 4x2x2 parts, length x, width x, height, will not only cover the corner parts of your armored car, but will also help to defend your weapon more efficiently. They include bonuses in the form of resistance to thermal and energy damage. Another curious 3x8x2 part, which will expand your building capabilities and increase the durability of your armored car quite a bit. In addition to the parts already introduced in the blogs, you can expect new cosmetic items, decor, paints, stickers, new elements for banner customization, containers with resources and parts of your choice, as well as other bonuses, which we will discuss in more detail during our traditional livestream before the release of the update. Next week we will find out what new things await us in terms of in-game locations, learn about the planned balance changes, and then we will wait for the start of the new season. See you soon! So yeah, guys, tell me in the comments what you think about this update, and yeah, also next day we're gonna look at balance changes. Goodbye.